Hello, welcome to today's webinar. This is Susan Bauer, National Director of Training, and I am so excited to introduce our wonderful speaker today. Dolores Vanden Bogard, Executive Vice President Sales Leader, has been doing VIP customer appreciation events with her team since 2008. Here are some amazing numbers. Get ready for this. 25,000 in sales, 63 bookings, and 31 new consultants. Wow. That was the result of their largest event. But overall, their results have been tremendous. And you can do these events with 2 consultants or a large team. Dolores has an amazing handout that you can access along with the webinar to plan your own events. And she will walk you through her plan using this handout now. So Dolores, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me this morning. I'm excited to be with you this morning and to show you the way that I have worked it out for my team to be able to organize these events. I started doing them in 2008, and originally what I would do is I'd actually bring in inventory, and my husband would run the back table. My consultants would sell the product. They would bring the order forms to the back. My husband would fill the orders as much as possible, highlighting off the EnviroCloth, window cloth, dusting mitts, the things that we had in stock. And then the consultants would pick up their baskets, bring them back to their tables, and distribute their product. I will tell you that the sales were also excellent from events like that, but it was a huge project to figure out what needed to be ordered in, what did we have in stock, where did all the inventory go. So I'm telling you that I've tried this a couple of different ways, and that way is not my favorite. So we did that for 2 years, and then in 2010 we moved to a different style of venue. And this was exclusively catalog ordering. I didn't have any in-stock product for people to order on site, rented a larger venue, and really had a lot more participation from my consultants. Now, we actually, the statistics that you shared were actually from the event we did in the fall of 2014, and we did do one in the spring of 2015, and it was actually even higher attendance, higher sales. And I actually didn't track the bookings and potential consultants, so I can't give statistics on that. But I've also done it with only a couple consultants in smaller communities and in smaller towns. For an example, up in Smithers, British Columbia, Houston, very small geographical area with just a couple consultants that reside in the area. And for me, I loved the results from those as well, because I found it really stimulated the growth of the area. It supported the consultants that lived in that area who don't have access to training, and it just gave them the opportunity to show Norwex's product to a lot of people in one evening. And that was very successful as well. So don't think that you need to have a lot of consultants to be able to make this happen, because up in these smaller towns up in northern British Columbia, just south of Alaska, it was myself and 3 other consultants that did those events. So, and also very, very successful how they went. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is finding a venue. Now, if you have my printout, you'll be able to see that. I have it kind of laid out for you for organizing an event like this. But before you even tell your team about it, you want to get the proper venue for the event. You want to project your goals as to how big you want it to be. For an example, in the community of Houston, we had the 4 of us consultants inviting people. I only knew 1 person in the area. It's a very, very small town. And that particular venue, we did rent just a community hall. We just used set up tables and we didn't even have tablecloths, but we did have arrangements on the table and made it look nice. We still had the PowerPoint and all the training on the product that went with it, but definitely did it to a much smaller scale than the picture you can see right now on the PowerPoint, which was an event that I did in my local area where I do have it's a city and we have lots of consultants. That particular picture is actually a church. And this particular church, they can take apart all the chairs, turn them into round tables, coffee tablecloths. They have seasonal decorations. So I didn't have to purchase any of the decorations, which was really nice, because when we've done it in the spring, we have daisy pots with polka dots and mirrors and candles. In the fall, we've got a fall arrangement with a 3-tiered candle holder. So if you can find a venue that already has decorations, that is a huge gift. And tablecloths, of course, make everything look classier. We always have treats on the table. We provide coffee, tea, and beverages and punch at the back. I have done it before where we had consultants actually bring in potluck-style desserts. Once again, not necessary, and it's just that much more logistically more to handle. So that was something I've tried and chose to just stick with beverages and little chocolates and mints on the table for people to snack on. All right, so you want to find a proper venue. The next thing is, once you have your venue selected, then you want to make some invitations. Now, this is also crucial, that when you launch this to your team, that I had the invitations ready to go. I had them done in a PDF. I told people to just send them to their local printer, even to Staples, get them printed on a little bit of a heavier weight paper material, and cut them into quarters, so that one piece of paper would actually be 4 invitations, brightly vibrant colored, and that way then, as the consultants in the upcoming 6 weeks prior to the event, while they were doing their presentations, they would be inviting people. They would be inviting people to not only host a table, but also just come as their guests. They would be able to invite people at school, at soccer games, at play school, at a community league event. Anywhere they go, they would be able to just hand out invitations with their RSVP information at the bottom, because having an RSVP is very crucial. So have your invitations made ahead of time before launching it to your team. Of course, offer it to them in the style of email, to be able to text it, as well as the hard copy. Now, the thing that I always told my consultants that I expected from them with their participation is that this required them getting on the phone. They needed to call their customers, they needed to call past hosts, they wanted to dig into their Frank list, and the awesome result of that is that as they were making these phone calls, they were finding people that couldn't attend the event, but they did want to either order product or were interested in having a presentation. So they were getting bookings anyway. So it just creates a culture of people getting on the phone, reaching out to their customers, and getting those bookings, whether or not they were able to attend our event. So once I had all of my administrative end of it together, I had a venue, I had the invitations ready to go, I would book a team meeting, and I would say that this was only for people who wanted information about participating in the event. And in order for people to participate in the event, I did charge a fee of $20 per table, and each table could hold up to 12 people at a table. Now, there are 3 different ways that people would be able to participate in our event. So when our consultants were reaching out to their customers and reaching out to past hosts and offering it at their upcoming presentations, these were the 3 different options that the consultants had. First of all, the consultants could just host a presentation themselves at a table. If they're a brand new consultant, this is an excellent way to launch their business. They could have their starter show at the event, and they would be able to, once again, have up to 12 people at their table, and that particular host consultant could choose to be the host, or they could do it as a mystery host party and do a draw. So if you've got dormant or inactive people on your team who haven't seen the new product, this is an awesome and excellent way as a leader to reach out to those dormant and inactive consultants and say, I know you haven't seen the new product. I know you haven't been to a meeting lately. And this would be an awesome way for you to reintroduce Norwex's product to your friends and family. Why don't you host a table? Whether you take the hosting gifts or whether you choose to give them out to your, do it as a mystery table and give it out to someone who attends or places an order, that's totally up to you. All right. So the first way is that the consultant can host a table. The second way is that a customer can host a table. So while you're doing your presentations in the upcoming 6 weeks, you just project that. You're just like, I am participating in a customer appreciation event. It's a large-scale event with my entire team, and I have limited access to tables. Currently, I have 2 or 3 tables booked, however many tables they commit to booking for the evening, and I am looking for hosts to host a table, and you can have up to 12 people at your table, but you would be the host. So that means that these hosts don't have to clean their home, they don't have to provide any snacks, they don't have to kick the kids and husband out of the home for the evening. They're hosting an event at this Customer Appreciation Team event, and hosts absolutely love it because they don't have to do anything. You just provide them with some of these invitations, they hand them out to their friends, they get their RSVPs, they have them at their table, and just for inviting their friends and family to this Customer Appreciation event, they receive all the hosting gifts. So I do have some hosts who have said to me, annually, I want one of your tables. So that is an excellent way to project that to the people at your parties for them to be able to host a table right at the event and be a host. The other thing that we do use as an incentive is we do offer a discount off of the entire product line. We don't tell them what percentage it is, as well as everybody who attends will receive a gift. So even if their friends are not familiar with Norwex's product, they know that just for coming, there's going to be a gift given to them just for attending this event. Consultants on our participate is just by coming to help. Sometimes people look at an event like this and they're just like, oh my goodness, like I just want to come, like I just want to watch it. And that gives them a real taste too for maybe next time they do choose to participate in our team event and they just come, and we need ushers, we need people sending people to the right table numbers. I've got all the tables numbered so then when the guests arrive, they say their name, they say who their consultant is, and they're told to go to table number 3 or table number 30 so that there's a really strong flow at the event. People walk through the door, they're right away greeted, they're right away directed, what's your table number? Table 33 is off to the left up on the second stage. So people can find, we have lots of volunteers from our team who aren't necessarily participating, but they're there as greeters and as ushers and just to help direct the flow. We also need people to help set up the coffee, refill the coffee, make the punch, and help with cleanup, and of course taking all those tablecloths home, laundering them, and putting all the decorations away. So the day before is a lot of setup. We have some people on our team who just offer to help and come set up the day before for the consultants who are going to be participating. All right, so those are the 3 different ways that people can participate. So at the team meeting that I have, it is absolutely important that any consultant who wants to participate, they have to agree to a couple things in order for me to assign tables to them. And I am super firm on this. I haven't always been in the past, and it just caused for a lot of logistical frustrations on the organizing end of it. So what I say is if you want to participate, you have to be at this first meeting. And if you are not able to be at that meeting, unfortunately, you will not be able to have a table for the event. And the reason why is we need absolutely every consultant doing exactly the same thing on every table. You can't have some consultants showing up with snacks on their table and then they forget their catalogs and they're missing half their product. We want uniformity. We want everything to look exactly the same. It looks very professional, very polished, and you only get that when everybody's doing exactly the same thing. The other thing is that I do a call with all the participating consultants. Sometimes it's even just for 5 or 10 minutes every Sunday night, the 6 weeks prior to the event, and just touching base, I really like consultants to feel normal. And what I mean by that is sometimes consultants are so excited, they tell me, Dolores, I'm going to take 3 tables. And as the organizer, I always oversell tables. So say if I have access to 45 tables at my event, and we're doing it for 2 nights, which I always do 2 nights back to back. That's just, might as well, you have it all set up. You might as well just do it 2 nights back to back. And I always oversell because it's just like a party. People cancel last minute. Hosts cancel last minute. Someone gets the flu, whatever happens, who knows, cancellations happen. So I have, like this last event that I did this spring, I know that I had sold, I never collected the money for it. It's always just on a verbal agreement. I had oversold the event by 10 tables. And I said to Doug, oh my goodness, what am I going to do if these consultants actually all fill their tables? Like we literally don't, we are short 10 tables. And I just trusted them to know that they don't always fill the tables. And some consultants, they try as they might, it will be a week prior to the event and they'll have 3 full tables, and the night of, they get 2 cancellations, and they end up only filling 1. So you need to be super flexible with an event like this when you're the organizer of it, and don't restrict people. If people want to participate, just say yes and just find a place to fit them in. And I have overcommitted the event, and we've never been to capacity. So, all right. So, what I do with my team, what I do is I go through with them exactly what the layout of the evening is going to look like, so that everyone knows how the flow is going to be, what's on each table, what paper they need to have printed out, what they need to order in from Norwex home office to have at their table settings, what product they need to have on hand for all the customers at their table to be able to view, so that every table is exactly the same. And are just a pep call. That's all it is. I don't care if you don't have anybody coming yet. You absolutely can do this. Like, just keep moving forward. I know you can do it. And then we have some consultants share success stories. We have some consultants share a frustrating situation, so everyone just feels normal, that it all just works out. All right. So the other thing that we do on those Sunday night calls is teach our consultants how to host as coach, the hosts that are going to be at their table. And once again, this is just business building 101. Like, we are partnering with the consultants on our team and teaching them how to have a, which will then carry on to teach them how to have successful parties when they're doing parties outside of an event. The other thing is I get my consultants to set a goal, and that goes with them booking the amount of tables that they want, how many tables they plan on filling, and then once again, I already shared about the accountability. All right, so we want people, inviting people everywhere they go, obviously, and one thing that I do is I have a stage time for testimonies. Now, this has been really powerful, and when people are sharing their testimonies, I have, once again, back in 08 and 09 when I originally was doing these, you learn to do by error. I find that has been a lot of my success in this business, is by doing things wrong the first time. And it's like, all right, now I know better. So I am super firm with this as well. Anyone who wants to speak, maximum 2 minutes per speech. They need to email it to me ahead of time, and they need to physically do it with me over the phone, and I time them. It's really important that you do control what they say, how long they speak, and what they're going to talk about. So I have different testimonies, and I will have someone, say for an example, who's just a customer who hosted a presentation. So I want a host to share. What was it like for her? How much did she get for free? How advantageous it was for her? I will have maybe 1 or 2 people share about a product testimony. And once again, I'll keep those ones quite a bit shorter, and we do have an open mic for a little while for product testimonies while people are shopping in the catalog. But I do find that at that point, there's quite a bit of murmuring going on in the room, so not everybody listens to that. And then I also have consultant testimonies. Someone who's a brand new consultant to share about the fresh start, and then I also have a consultant share as well about the business opportunity and what it's done for her and her family, and how it's made their financially as well as personally, given them development. So once again, get them to send you the speeches. You want to go over it with them ahead of time and just make sure that everything is on point with what Norwex stands for. All right, so everyone who attends the events will receive a free prize just for coming. There's a discount for everyone. We do lots of draws, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The entire product line is up on the stage. You'll see it on one of the pictures that they have on the slides. Up on the left-hand side, we have the entire product line set up, and we usually have a consultant who's not participating in the event do that, and it's on. We have one entire table set up with the entire product line, and when there's time for people to go up there and look at it, we always have 1 or 2 consultants who are not participating in the event manning that table, answering questions. And we make it very clear at the event that the product may not leave that table. They can't carry it off and take it off to the other tables, because then whoever's owning all that product at the end of the night won't be able to find all of their stuff. We also do one draw at the end of the night, and this is our big draw, and we either give away a mop or a $100 shopping spree, anything people want, and I'll explain what we do with that in a minute. And then we also, in our PowerPoint, we do include tips about the environment and about health as we go through the evening. So the start time of the event, we start at 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6:30, but all participating consultants have to be there no later than 5:30. There's time for setup, so they can each set up their table and get it organized, as well as we do have a pre-team meeting where we designate who is going to be on what area of the room to make sure that there's proper flow for people to find their table numbers and to have everything that the people need as they arrive. Now, whether consultants have one guest attending with them or whether they have 20, like I said, it's just very important that everybody does exactly the same thing. Now, what's important for your team to understand is what is my goal as their leader. Some consultants, some people are just wanting to see financially how is this going to be advantageous for them. Absolutely, it will be. But we do need to get our consultants in the mindset that this event is to be an appreciation for our customers, as well as intended to be a very fun night. So absolutely, there's going to be a lot of giving on the part of the consultants. They're going to be giving a discount. They're going to be giving a gift to everybody who sits at the table, as well as we've got lots of prizes that we give away as well. Now, we have done a couple different things for the gifts at the table. For example, we will give away a rolled up travel pack cloth. I already have them in stock for our spring event for 2016. I ordered in a whole bunch of body pack cloths, and we're going to roll them up and either put ribbon or raffia on them so that each person is given a gift. Now, I don't put the gifts out on the table right away, because if there are 12 seats at the table and only 6 chairs are filled last minute, you don't want the people sitting at that table to walk off with the rest of that consultant's gifts. Because if that consultant is running 3 tables, it's nice for her to be able to go home with her leftover stock at the end of the night. So we do have we call it a hidden bag, where we hide the product underneath the table, and as we talk about it, you pull out things and you just have one person in charge of the table. So when it's announced and we thank everybody for attending the event, then that's when the gift is pulled out and everybody is given a cloth. Just for attending, and that's why getting the RSVPs are super important, and that's why consultants can actually say when they're reaching out to people about getting the RSVPs that's why they need it, because they need to know how many gifts. We've done a couple different things for people who bring guests, that if they bring a guest that either the consultant or the host of the table didn't bring, we've done that. I haven't done it the last few times, but either just a micro hand pad, a singular micro hand pad, or a singular Spira sponge, or a singular Spiranet wrapped up like a candy. You can do different things for that. We don't always do that. But what we do is at the end of the night, we do offer a discount of 10% off of everything people order at the end of the night. And that is something that people absolutely love, especially if they're wanting to pick up something new that some new product that Norwex just launched. So consultants who participate, for every 4 guests that they have confirmed coming, they need to bring a gift valued at $20 for the prize table. And it needs to be wrapped and in a gift bag. And I'm not sure if they have a picture of that, of the table that we have up the front. But on the right-hand side, that skirted table is just loaded with prizes. So 1 in 4 guests who attend will leave with a gift bag valued at $20. And I always tell consultants, use free product. So Norwex is very generous. We get a lot of free products from Norwex, and that is what I recommend for them to give out is the free product. I do charge anywhere between $15 to $20 per table, depending on what the cost is for renting your venue. It's not my desire to break even as the leader. I am totally fine to cover extra costs that are incurred by the team for the event. As a leader, I feel that that's my responsibility. The reason why I do charge per table is for accountability, because if the consultants say, yeah, I'll take 3 tables, before I used to just, not charge them, and then it would come to two nights before and they'd be like, yeah, I don't have anybody coming. So I do feel that by charging them that $20 or $15 per table, depending on what the cost of your venue is, it does put that accountability on them to work at it. And attending those Sunday night calls, their pep talk, you know, to be able to get them on board with reaching out to people to invite them to come. So once again, I don't collect that money until the night of the event or during the setup the day before when we're setting up the tables and doing the decorations. And that's just because if a consultant totally has tried, and it's obvious that they've tried, they've been on all the calls, and if they said 3 tables and it turns out that they only actually need 1, well, I likely over-committed to the evening anyway. So like I said earlier, I had over-committed 10 tables over and above this past spring, and I ended up having less people than what the tables could fill. So yeah, that was totally fine. So as a team, you're going to want to talk about what product you want to have at each table. I one time had Carol Kuipers come in, and each table did do the chicken swab test with a plate and a piece of chicken, and each consultant did that on each table. I've only done that once, but that is an idea that you can do right with the people at the table. Now, I also say that while we're doing the product information, the consultants who are going to be speaking, we divvy up which consultant wants to talk about which product. Now, don't have your consultants meander out from the audience. What I do is I have all 8 consultants come on stage, and then one at a time they step forward, take the mic, talk about their product, whether it's the EnviroCloth, the window cloth, the dusting mitt, and the basics, or if you're talking about brand new product, which Norwex just launched, we'll sometimes use in our PowerPoint some of the video from Norwex because those are funny and awesome, and have it up on the PowerPoint as to what the product is. And I also then have the consultants just one at a time pass the mic from one person to the next and talk about the product. At this point, the product is hidden in the hidden bag underneath the table. And the reason why I do this now, which I didn't in the past, is as soon as they start digging around in that bag, the whole auditorium gets noisy, and you lose all 300 or 400 people that you have sitting in the room. You just lose control of the room. So I leave the product hidden in the bag, and the person running that table knows that that product stays in the bag. That's another good point. I have sometimes myself had upwards of 8 tables myself, and I'm up and down off the stage helping facilitate the evening with my team, so I personally will not be sitting at my 8 tables. That's physically impossible. So I will designate one person at each table. Now if I don't have a host for the table, it would be my host first, but if I don't have a host, I'll just ask a friend or a family member or someone to sit at that table and to facilitate that table and be me for that group and answer their questions. Once the product has all been discussed, for an example, my notes here from the meeting the event that we did the fall of 2014, we had one stainless steel straw at each table, one silicone lid, one produce bag, one optic scarf. We also sometimes do a bit of a fashion show. We had a whole bunch of a couple consultants come out with the spa wrap on. Some people put the turban on. I had some consultants come out with big handbags with the optic scarves hanging off of it, and then they would walk around through the auditorium and let people either feel it or touch it or check it out, just kind of making it fun that way as well. And then the new bottle brush is something else we had at the table, and I try to keep it super economical so that because if you have 8 tables, you need to have one of everything at each table. And on each table is also always an EnviroCloth, a window cloth, and a dusting mitt, just the 3 basics, so that people who are not familiar with Norwex's product can check out the product. And then, of course, we reference the packages, absolutely, right? The basic pack, the household pack, the Safe Haven package, and the Just Add Water now is one of my favorites. All right, so when the customers arrive at each table, there's a table number, so that's how they found their seat. And in front of each chair, we had a bookmark from Norwex, a pen, and a regular catalog tucked in with an order form on the inside. Because some people are literally there to just stop and shop. They just want something, and they're heading out the door to go pick their kid up from soccer. So we've done that both ways. We've kept the order forms and catalogs underneath the table and pulled them out. Now we just leave it all out, and it works. It works great. On each table, we also have the before and after book out, as well as the hosting and customer specials. We used to have them up on a display, like on a board. I just found that really took away from the decorations on the table, and it looks kind of tacky, so we don't do that anymore. In the hidden bag underneath the table, we always have a copy of the Fresh Start sheet, the hosting pack, the recruiting pack, any additional order forms. Always have your order forms pre-labeled with all your information. I just use stickers on my forms to have them ready to go, as well as your wrapped travel pack cloth or whatever you're giving away as a gift. Those items all go in the hidden bag. And then just some extra business supplies that I encourage the consultants to have there. Post-it notes for making notes. I always have little baskets on each table for my host to be able to collect all the order forms in. I always have some paper clips. You make notes. Somebody has a question about something, as well as what dates you have available for October and November. You want to have a printed copy of the ballads. Now, this is really important because when we talk about, I'll get into the evening's agenda, but when we talk about the hosting program, we right away do a draw. Who would like to host a party? And on the draw, on there I have immediately, would you like to have, and I give an option of the upcoming 3 months. So for an example, if you're doing one of these events in December, you would have on your draw, do you want a booking in January, February, or March? And then the customer can circle what month they would like to host a party in, and that goes in the draw. We right away do a draw from stage, and they get to come up and pick a prize off the table. But at the very end of the night, when we talk about the profit portion of the Norwex Business Opportunity, and we have a fresh start consultant share her testimony, we explain how they can get started, the different kit options, what's in the kit, as well as what the expectations are to earn the kit for free. Then what we'll do is we'll do a draw. We'll pull out the ballads for that as well, and everybody fills that in. Are you interested in joining our team and becoming a consultant? And then I always have the options on that draw slip as well. No, I'm very happy with my consultant. Yes, I'm interested in more information, or please sign me up. And that way then absolutely everybody in the room is filling out the ballot, because even if they're saying that they like their consultant and they're filling out the ballot anyway, because that is the biggest draw of the night, and that is the draw where we either give away a free mop or $100 or $120 shopping spree, anything that they want out of the catalog. And by adding that third option to the ballot, it's unanimous. Absolutely everybody in the room is filling out the ballot. So if there's somebody sitting at a table who's just hesitant, like, hey, maybe I do want some information, everyone's filling out the ballot anyway. And because we use a sanctuary, we actually use the offering baskets. And I have volunteer consultants, again, running around with the offering baskets, picking up all the ballots for the draw. They bring them all up to the front. Everybody in the house is in on the draw for the big draw of the evening. We also do a 50% off coupon for anybody who books that night. And we announce that prior to the booking draw. So if they book a show that night and pick one of the upcoming 3 months for hosting their party, they will receive a 50% off item for a qualified show. So that's when we also explain what is a qualified show, and then we have a host come up and share a testimony about her experience being a host for their consultant. In the speeches, I also control that they don't say any consultant's names. So if it's a customer of mine, that when they get up there, they're not like, oh, Dolores this and Dolores that, or Jennifer this, Jennifer that, or Lindsay this, Lindsay that. It's like, no, we're here as a team. We're unified. If a customer comes up and speaks, they always refer to my consultant this or my consultant. We don't say any names at all because we're there working as a team. All right. So basically, the evening is set up so that first we talk about the product. The consultants all stand on stage. They've decided what they're going to share. Once again, I even get the consultants. I tell them that in order to get all of this in from 7 to 9, and my team knows I will cut stuff out. I will skip half the PowerPoint if I need to be done at 9. I want to be super respectful of people's time. And the biggest place where our team has lost time is in the consultants' testimonies when they're talking about the product. Because they share a testimony about themselves and about a customer and then about the product and what you can all use it for. They need to keep it short, condensed, and to the point. So if you're talking about 6 or 8 items, and if each consultant is given 2 minutes, you're already looking at 15 to 20 minutes of your time right there. And then if you throw in a couple YouTube videos with it, now you're looking at a half hour. Well, if your whole event is only 2 hours and you need time for shopping, like, you need to schedule out your evening and decide how you want to spend your time. So what I do is I just ask the consultants to submit their 1 to 2 minute speech about what they're going to say. As one consultant is talking, the consultant who's on deck, who's going to be speaking next, needs to count to 90, and as soon as they're done counting to 90, they start walking towards the person with the mic. So the person with the mic knows that they're done talking for 90 seconds, they need to wrap it up. As each consultant finishes talking about a product, just to kind of break the evening up and make it super fun, they right away grab the ballot box and they pull a draw, and they give a free product away to one of the people in the audience. I usually use one of my daughters as a runner, and the consultant will do the draw. They'll pick a gift off the table, they'll pass it to my daughter, and she'll run it to the consultant, the customer who's standing in the house, saying that that was their winning ticket. So after each person talks, once again, they have the product in hand, they tell people what page number it's on, they keep their testimony punchy, just super short but impacting, and then they wrap it up, they do a draw, and then they go on to the next person. Then we usually, after we're done talking about the product, then we take usually about a 10-minute break. We have fun, peppy music playing, and we have an open mic, and that way then people can come up and share product testimonies up at the front. Then we start talking about the program, and then we'll have two people come up with testimonies and give a maximum 2-minute speech about their experience of being a host and Norwex's generous hosting program. And then we explain the hosting program, we offer our 50% off coupon, and then we do the draw for everybody to get their name put into the draw if they would like to book a presentation in the upcoming 3 months. And then for the final portion of the evening, it's the profit. Once again, we usually have a fresh start consultant come up, and consultant who's been with us for a while and just shares the income potential. And once again, those speeches, again, 1 to 2 minutes maximum, and make sure you hear it ahead of time. Why Norwex? What's an impacting story? We have a consultant on our team, Jenny Lee. She had a very impacting story. Shannon Marshall, same thing. Very, like, this is where it gets real. This is when, as a team, you become a family. When people are willing to share what really has moved them in their business, and not only financially, but the personal growth that they've received. At the end of that, then we do the draw, where absolutely everybody in the house will be in on the draw for the draw for the business opportunity, because it says on there whether they love their host, they're good, or they want information, or they want to sign up. And that is the big draw for the night. And then it's time for customers, and customers have been shopping that entire time anyway, so it actually goes quite quick, that 2 hours. It's very fast. And then what we do is we give away the rest of the prizes on the table. We thank everybody for coming, and then we turn the music on again, and we just let everybody, and I try to do it on a weeknight. It's just like a party. If you have something on a weekend, people will hang around for forever. But if you have it on a weeknight, people do their shopping, and sometimes by 9:30, we are putting the decorations away. Like, the room clears out very quickly. And it's just, to me, it's a way not only of building community with my team, and giving this gift to them of an amazing event for whether they're dormant or inactive consultants that just want to, connect with their friends and family and show them the new product, whether it's a brand new consultant launching their business, or whether it's a seasoned consultant who's doing this as a full-time income and they fill 5 or 6 tables. I absolutely love working with my team, and it's one of my highlights of the year. I did do them twice a year for a while. Last year I did do it twice in the year, in the spring and the fall. It was too much. So we had a leadership meeting about it. Do we want to only do it once a year? Do we want to do it in the fall when the new products come out, or do we want to do it in the spring when it's spring cleaning season? And we decided that we're just going to do it once a year, and we're only going to do it in the spring. And it's tremendous. I highly encourage you to do it. If this sounds overwhelming, I just encourage you to watch my YouTube. I have a video which my husband literally videoed from front to end, the entire Norwex customer appreciation event. So not only can you see the PowerPoint that I have with the statistics that we use, but the testimonies that were shared in the flow of the evening. And that's up there so that you can get a feel for it. And like anything in this business, just do it. Do it afraid the first time, and then just jump in. You'll make lots of mistakes. We all do. And you live and learn, and it just gets better and more polished the more you do it. So I wish you all the best, and I hope you do it. And I would love to hear how it goes for you.
Wow. Thank you, Dolores. And what a great benefit for everyone on the webinar to have your experience and to hear what worked, what didn't work, and exactly how to make the most of this customer appreciation event. Everything from invitations to the steps to get your team involved to the very specifics of the event itself. So everyone on this webinar, I'm sure you frantically took notes, but you can go back, you can listen to the webinar again. You will have access to Dolores's handout. And the best part about webinars is that, we have to respect Dolores's time, and this is your opportunity. If you have questions as you've been listening that didn't get answered during the webinar, this is our time where you can live write in your questions, and Dolores will be available to answer those now. So Doug, I am going to turn it over to you to field those questions, and I just want to say, Dolores, thank you so much for sharing how to make the most out of this very incredible event. Okay, Doug.
Okay, thanks, Susan. We do have a couple of questions here today, and I do want to remind everybody that we do want to respect Dolores's time. So you can review the training from the webinar at any time, but please do not email or Facebook message her. Okay, Dolores, we have a question here from Stephanie, and she's asking, what percentage would be acceptable to overbook?
Well, first of all, because I don't want to decline anyone from being able to attend or participate in a team event, I always figure if I do oversell an event, we'll just bring in chairs. And if that means not everyone is necessarily sitting at a table, I don't mind doing some row seating as well. What I have done in the past is we had a certain section of the event designated just for consultants on our team who just wanted to come and observe, or who were there volunteering and wanted to watch how the evening progressed, and we had row seating available for them. So I have never actually put a cap on it. So to me, unless you have a fairly small venue, then you may want to only overbook by maybe 10 or 20%, but my venue is fairly large, so I have never capped it.
Okay, next we have a question here from Roxana, and she's asking, you mentioned earlier in the webinar about a gift for each person. Can you give me an example for a gift?
Yeah, absolutely. I like doing the travel pack cloths. I want to find something that's economical for the Norwex consultants, especially new people on the team. Even if you, what I love about the travel pack cloth is if people don't have any Norwex product, and if they even just go home with that little miniature Enviro cloth, they can detail their entire kitchen with it and fall in love with the product. So that is my first choice. And we, as I said earlier, either just wrap a ribbon around it or put some raffia on it. You want it to look like a gift. We are actually already getting geared up to do our event for the spring of 2016, and we plan on giving everyone a body pack cloth. So whether some teams may choose to do a baby body pack cloth or an actual adult body pack cloth, that's what we are doing for the upcoming spring event here in our area.
Okay, and I've got a number of questions here asking, where can we go to see Dolores's YouTube video?
Yeah, totally, no problem. My YouTube channel is called Clean Natural. So if you just go and Google YouTube and write in their browser, type in Clean Natural, you will find my channel. And on my channel, I have a playlist which is for consultant training. And in there, you'll actually find the event. And I believe it's actually called Norwex Customer Appreciation Event, Why Are Products Made in China? And that was one of the events that we had done here locally that my husband videoed, and you'll be able to see the stage display with the gifts as well as the entire product lineup the PowerPoint that we make for the event, as well as the consultants that speak, the flow of the evening, when the gifts are done, how the draws are presented, and how the new product is released. So you can check out the entire flow of the evening there. I believe it's probably, I think it's about an hour and a half long. So yeah, like it's all there. So you can watch the entire presentation as if you were in attendance at one of my customer appreciation events.
Okay, and I think with that, we're going to wrap it up here for today. So thank you very much, Dolores, for your presentation today. And on behalf of Susan and Dolores, I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. Bye now.